Right, so this might be my 20th win, this might not be my 20th win, we don't know. We'll have to see if we defeat the nuclear monster in time. It depends on if we get lucky or not. If it continues spawning like this, we might not get lucky. Because the spawning thing is just annoying as all heck, I can't lie. Especially if it spawns so many super toxic that it just kills itself back. Yeah. Oh, come on, stop spawning, please, please, I beg. So if I win this, it'll be my 20th win, and then I don't have the nuclear monster logbook, so this would be my 20th, so I should get the logbook from this win. So I am missing those Pizza Party logbooks, but I'll probably get them later. But I am... Was that not my 20th win? Polluted Wastelands. Yeah, that's my 20th win. Enemies. Right, do I have the nuclear monster logbook, or did I just miss it? No, I don't have the nuclear monster logbook. Where is it? I might have just missed it at one of my triumphs, and now I have to beat it 20 times again. Oh, no. So as it turns out, when it comes to Polluted Wastelands 2, I beat one of the games before the logbook 20 wins guarantee thing occurred. So I needed to beat it 20 times after that. So that's why I needed to beat it 21 times. Now, this video is being made before the Badlands 2 thing is added, so I assume that I don't have to get any more wins from Badlands 2, but I assume that the update will add more enemies that I'll have to grind out, so I don't have the logbooks for the new Badlands 2 yet, but I assume by the time I upload this video that I will have those logbooks. I don't know that by this time of point, but we'll have to see. I also assume that they'll be easy to get, given that Badlands 2 is a three-lane map, so everything but the gunslinger should be easy to get, given that they appear at least 3 times in one game. That being said though, I think the cavalry only appears twice in one game. I don't know. So yes, I now have every single special mode game logbook. And yes, I do include the hardcore mode enemies in this as well. So those are all the legacy logbooks basically. Apart from, well actually no, they actually are all the legacy mode logbooks, including the ones from the challenge maps that you can only get in the challenge maps. Now, bear in mind, this is for only the ones that you can get publicly. You can't get the ones that you can't get publicly, like, I don't know, the Bolt. No, actually, no, not the Bolt, because you can get that publicly. I mean, like, something like the Charge from, like, Golden Mode, Legacy Golden Mode, because that's technically illegal, and you can get banned for that, so, no thanks. But for everything else, I do have. So, let's start off with the stuff. So, the Abomination, yes, it moves pretty fast here. I don't know why it moves as fast, because I don't think it moves as fast as it's in-game. Amalgamation looks fine. Then you'll get to the first duplicative here. So, Balloon Kids... that is duplicate here. Now, I don't know why, but any Pizza Party enemy that was in the game exclusively in Pizza Party before the Pizza Party rework update is in the logbook twice. I don't know why, so it seems like the developers have accidentally duplicated the legacy into like a modern version, but the enemies in Pizza Party do not have a modern version variant. They only have a legacy version variant, which is why they don't appear in the preview as well. And you'll notice that it takes a while for the exclusive tag to appear because it's trying to fetch a modern variant, but a modern variant doesn't exist. Hence why there's no preview. Then we get a breaker. It says exclusive enemy, but it's actually just linked to the breaker. So a fun fact that you'll notice commonly is that the modern variant may actually be linked to the legacy variant that I got. So you'll see that later. Then I get the cavalry, that's fine. Then I get 2 circuits for some reason. Now, this isn't actually a glitch. For some reason, there are just 2 circuits in the logbook for some reason, which isn't related to the Pizza Party glitch. Then I have the circuit 2. Yeah, so for some reason, the circuit 2 is a separate enemy to the circuits. Instead of one being like a modern variant, one being a legacy variant. Both are actually just legacy variants. Then you get the citizen plush, very cool. And then you get the clown. But in the preview, the ball doesn't actually move. It just looks like the clown is just like moonwalking or something. That's weird. Obviously, you have like cold mist and stuff. I mean, those are just frost event enemies. Then you get the commander. Except, like, it's the first entry of the commander that's actually glitched. And the second entry is the one that works fine. The Crying Angel, I mean, I'm going to talk about it. Its text just ends here. It doesn't exceed this. I don't know why. It cuts it off. Then you get the Dark Necromancer, which you can only get through certain challenge maps. Those challenge maps being Legion challenge maps and Juggernaut challenge maps that do not have the enemy's beta modifier. Which is quite a few maps, actually. That's why it says Fallen Legacy, because it's technically from the like legacy Fallen mode, but the challenge maps do use that for some of their game modes, but only 2. Deep freeze, that's fine. Then you get the demon, which is the enemy that spawns in from the Reaper in Pizza Party. Then you get the error. It's white here because the reflective stuff is white in the skybox in the preview. Then you get the Executioner Plush, which is much slower in the preview for some reason. I don't know why. Technically, this isn't an exclusive enemy, but in the preview, the failed experiment is static. Huh. Okay. Again, I will point this out later when I get all of the modern version legacy stuff. But there is no legacy Fallen King logbook, even though that's the only version that I got from hardcore mode, because I haven't triumphed Fallen mode from this time. That's the version I got. However, I only have the modern version variant, so I don't need to beat Fallen mode 20 times because I have the modern version of the Fallen King logbook. Next, we have the Fleshling. That looks fine. Frost Hero. It looks fine as well. And then Frost Hunter. That looks fine as well. Frost Invader. Frost Mage. Frost Mystery. There is a very cool Easter egg, I think, about this. According to legend, these beings are created from those who fall through frozen lakes and never resurface. This is a reference to one of the lakes in the original Outpost 32, which was uncollidable, which meant that players actually fell through the lake into the void and actually died. Also, for some reason, the text for this also cuts off, similar to the other entry, which I forgot. Frost Necromancer looks fine. The Frost Ravager looks fine. The Frost Spirit looks fine, the Frost Undead looks fine, the Frozen looks fine, and the Ghost is an exclusive enemy that appears in Pizza Party. Now, I didn't get the Frost Spawner. You can get the Frost Spawner. I didn't get it because I do have a life, yes. Obviously, it says, like, how did you get it? Obviously, because you're not meant to get it. Well, you can get it. You are meant to get it, but yeah. Next, the Giant Boss is actually slightly glitched. It takes a while for it to load, but you can load it. Then the Guard Plush, yeah, it's not actually named the Guard Plush. The Guard Plush is just its title name. Apparently, in the sandbox mode, it has a different name. I forgot what the name is. It's something plush, I don't know. Then we have the Gunslinger, which I actually got my 6th kill, luckily. Then, for some reason, the Hazard, its icon is really tiny for some reason. I don't know why. Also, I don't know how I got the Hazard. I'll be totally honest with you. I think this is a Badlands 2 exclusive enemy, at least as of writing this video. This is unrelated to the Hazmat, which appears in Molten, Casual, and Intermediate. You need to get the Hazard separately. Then you get the Ice Beacon, which is the only Operation Ice enemy without an entry. Then you get the Night Plus, which is much slower than this, I believe, in the game. Then the Lead Balloon. For some reason, the balloons here are transparent and it walks instead of floats. Fair enough. The Living Experiment also just has no animation. Fair enough. The Marionette has no strings. Huh. Okay. Actually, I think that's the same for the Balloon Kid. The Balloon Kid had no strings, right? No, not that one. That's the broken entry. Yeah, the Balloon Kid, I don't see any strings. Or the balloon. What does... Okay, so the balloon just walks. Okay, right. So, the Mimic Umbria... Fair enough. It looks fine for the most part, apart from the fact it has duplicate entries. The Minigunner looks fine, even though if it looks a bit speedy. The Monkey... That looks fine. Now, for some reason, the Necromancer boss has 2 different entries, even though they are of the same enemy. It's not like there's a different version. It's of the same enemy. I don't know why. The Nuclear Guardian looks fine, and so does the Nuclear Monster. Packed Ice looks fine. Polluted Hazmat, not to be confused with the Hazmat which appears elsewhere. It looks fine. Now, you can get the Radioactive Slime, even though... the icon takes... the preview takes forever to load, and it doesn't actually load, actually. But previously, it was a glitch where the icon didn't actually properly load in. It was actually a cat icon because the developers didn't actually have an icon for the radioactive slime. It was not just here. So, the placeholder, or the default placeholder for the icons for all enemies, if it doesn't have an icon, is a cat. That's what the radioactive slime had. Now, interestingly, there is an enemy that you're meant to get in Polluted Wastelands 2, that being the goo. However, due to a glitch, it doesn't actually spawn in the goo. So, there is an enemy that is impossible to get a logbook for because it doesn't spawn in. Now, you can spawn in through like admin commands, but you can't really get the logbook through admin commands. So, yeah, an impossible enemy to get a logbook for. Then you get the Reaper, and the Reaper takes a while to load in, but it does load in. Then you get the Rusher, which I swear isn't as fast as this in the game. It's looks a bit too fast. The Scout looks fine, as does the Shotgunner, but the Shotgunner's first entry is the one that's glitched. Also, the Shotgunner has different health statistics. So here, in the quote modern variant, it has 2,250, but in the quote legacy version, it has 2,500. Huh. This was actually a change in the recent update made last week from 2,500 to 2,250. So, you know what? Fair enough. Then you get the Sin. Now, I don't I don't know how rare the sin is. Oh wait, I just realized the sin isn't actually that rare. It spawns, when the demon dies, it spawns 7 sins upon death. So if you get a demon to spawn in, it's actually quite common. So you know what? The sin, not that rare. But you don't really see it. So that's why you'll probably be confused when you see it. Then, this is not really exclusive anyway because you get in hardcore, but something very interesting is that the Slow King, it has an orange force field instead of a pink one that it shows on the icon. I don't know why this is the case, like, genuinely. The Snow Golem looks fine, as does the Snowman and the Snow Minion. Snow is also fine, even though it crawls on its thing here, but on the preview, on the icon, it looks like it walks. Then you got the Sock Puppet, which is much faster here than it is in the game, I think. Then you get the Summoner Boss, which looks ugly here because of the cobblestone thing. I've already talked about this with the Pyromancer, the Scarecrow Pyromancer skin. The cobblestone and I believe the snow textures for enemies are glitched in the lobby, where they just replace it with the modern Roblox variants, and they look ugly as heck, which is most prominent on the Summoner Boss. But this is also another enemy, like the Dark Necromancer, which is quite hard to get if it's not a challenge map where these enemies are appearing. And even if the enemies are appearing, it's still quite hard to get because the Summoner Boss doesn't appear that often in challenge maps. It only appears, like, I believe, only 3 times in Legacy Fallen mode, or 4 times. Then you get Super Toxic, which isn't that rare. Then the Toxic, which additionally isn't that rare. Then you get the Undead Miner, Unstable Ice. Void Reaver is slow as all heck. The Voodoo Doll, which apparently just jitters around a lot. I don't know why. I don't see it ever do that in the game, but fair enough. And then there are 2 entries, weirdly, for Walks the Fox. You have the glitched version entry, which is the first one. The glitched version, I assume, is the modern version, because it shows the speed as 0.9, which is actually the current version of Walks the Fox. And the modern version, or sorry, the legacy version shows its speed as 1.1, which was its original speed back in the day. However, the health wasn't, I believe, 450,000 health before, but I actually don't remember. And so these are all of the logbooks in all the special maps and all of the legacy stuff before the Badlands 2 rework. Now, I will get the Badlands 2 rework enemies if there are any new enemies that don't appear in like Pizza Party or in other game modes again. But just for now, that's just why if there's like a new enemy, like, I don't know, Richard Hammond or James May or Jeremy Clarkson in the new Badlands 2 rework, that's the reason why I haven't showcased it here in the index.